So we ain't said nothing about Jesus other than the parts that maybe you'd get scared enough to scream and cry out to Jesus. But would you like to tell people in the YouTube land just just what you think about the whole Jesus thing? You know,
What I
anything
think
you want
about
to
the
say
whole
about
Jesus thing.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm supposed to be a professional Jesus person,
Well, yeah.
which is one of the silliest things in the world.
You get paid to talk about Jesus.
I get paid to
I'm
talk
not
about
paying you,
Jesus.
though.
That's a great job. You know, the thing about it is, as a pastor, you spend an awful lot of time thinking about Jesus, and then you spend a lot of time dealing with people. And I think one of the things you do is you have to realize the gap that's between us and Jesus. Because we live an aspirational life, and we aspire to be like Jesus. And we're doomed to failure on this side of the veil. But he didn't ask us to succeed. He asked us to follow him. And where we run into trouble is when we think we've succeeded. Because, you know, I had a little kid at a church I was at before I came out here who they had a preschool. And so I would do Wednesday chapel services for these 3 and 4 year olds, little bitty guys. And one of them, for some reason, decided that since I talked about Jesus all the time, that must be who I was.
Oh, okay.
And the teachers thought it was the most hilarious thing in the world when he would call me Jesus. And I spent a lot of time trying to tell him that, no, I'm not him, I just work for him.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
Now, I like the one that's over here at Cokesbury. She calls me Pray.
Okay.
Because I pray all the time.
Yeah.
And so that's her name for me. But one of the things that, you know, that I struggle with, and I think all of us struggle with, is, you know, it's not a matter of what Jesus would do, because Jesus took the cross for us, so we already know what Jesus would do. The question is, what would Jesus want me to do? Who do I need to be? And a lot of people tell me, you know, well, I'll come back to church once I get my life together and my life right. Well, I ain't ever going to see you, because I'll be 62 years old in October, and I still don't have my life right. And I've got a degree from seminary, and that didn't help that any at all. So it's aspirational. That's this crazy shirt I bought it at Academy Sports. I call it my aspirational shirt, because I try to, when I put this shirt on, I try to achieve the mood that this shirt implies. And that's a challenge. And our daily life with Jesus is always a challenge too, because we're trying to aspire to be like him, but we can't be him. And when we start thinking we're him, that's when it gets to be troublesome. You know, there's an honesty about something like this, in that one of the things I love about cars like this is everything's hanging out there for the world to see. You know, there's no secret what this is. And we need to be like this. We need to just hang out there for the world to see, and not try to be something that we're not. Because when we try to do that, that's not attractive to the world, to make them think, is there a place for me with those people? We've always got to make a place for the people who aren't here. Jesus always did. Thieves, tax collectors, adulteresses, even Pharisees. He ate with Pharisees. He ate with his enemies. That's the cool thing about Jesus. Jesus is as unpredictable as this steering is.
He's seen me steer it.
And that's the coolest thing.